Hey guys, I'm back with another video after 2 months of no videos, no nothing, no activity. Um, I apologize for that. The recording device I used was a laptop, not in my possession. I used it from the schools, like they gave it to me. I was supposed to use it for education purposes, but gotta make videos. So instead, I found this cool application on my phone called a YouTube Capture. I'm able to do this from my phone, then upload it directly to YouTube. And I would just like to say, I checked some comments in all my videos today, and in the past 2 months I've gotten a lot of feedback, and I really appreciate you guys. I really like the feedback I'm getting, and I really just appreciate everything you do, I'm sorry. So I decided I'm going to make another video. It shouldn't be very long. It's top 14 teams who did well in either trading or gaining players this offseason. I didn't take into account for players who were lost. So this is just the additioning part of this last offseason, not including rookies. Now let's kick it off with number 14. I have Arizona. Arizona added a corner from Indianapolis, Gerard Powers, while also adding Carson Palmer, Rashard Mendenhall, Jeremiah Bell, Antoine Casson, and Jasper Brinkley. Some decent pickups right there. Number 13, Houston Texans. They only picked up 3 people really worth mentioning: Ed Reed, Shane Leckler, Greg Jones. Greg Jones is a great fullback. He'll definitely be able to replace Monte Leach. He won't be as good, but he's a great fullback in all senses of it. They picked up Shane Leckler, the best punter in the NFL. When you pick up a best player at any position, that's a massive pickup, whether it's kicker, quarterback, and running back. It does affect the game in more sense than others, but you pick up the best punter in the NFL, good for you. And then they pick up Ed Reed, future Hall of Famer. I personally believe they should have stayed in Baltimore, but great pickup by Houston. Anyway, moving on, number 12. Atlanta. They only picked up 3 people as well. I'm sorry, Atlanta. Only picked up 3 people as well. Steven Jackson, who's a great receiver. He's massive. He's a 6'3", 6'4", 240-pound running back. What people don't know, he's a very good receiver. He's really, really good in the receiving game, and he can run downhill, which should really help the Falcons in the passing game, even though they already have right away in Julio Jones. They also picked up O.C. Imanura from New York, which he should really help out the pass rush and help. What's his name? Oh my God, John Abraham. I'm sorry, I completely forgot about that. They also picked up Brian Banks. You guys know who Brian Banks is? He's the guy who was arrested for an alleged rape on a girl when he was in high school, when he was recruited as one of the best linebackers in the nation in high school. He was falsely accused, put in prison, and he came out. It's a big story if you haven't heard of it, but anyway. He came out, he met with the girl who accused him of rape, and he recorded her saying that she made it up just for money. Anyway, great pickup. I'm really happy for this guy. I'm really glad he made it to a roster. Anyway, moving on. Number 11, Tampa Bay. Yeah, only 11, Tampa Bay. They picked up Steve Smith, not the Steve Smith out of Carolina, who once been bouncing from team to team. Kevin Ogletree, Nate Kading, another very good kicker. Deshaun Golston, and Jarrell Revis. The reason why I have them this low is because Jarrell Revis just came off an injury, and other than that, they picked up a good kicker and a safety. But that's a very good corner. If he plays to his ability, he's the best corner in the NFL. And Deshaun Golston, I love him. He's one of my favorite safeties in the game. Anyway, moving on, let's go to the top 10. Number 10, Kansas City. Kansas City has selected, give me a second. All right. They picked up Alex Smith, of course, Dante Robinson, Sean Smith, Frank Zombo, Akeem Jordan, Anthony Fasano, Quentin Depps, Mike DeVito, Chase Daniel, and Donnie Avery. The 3 best are the first 3 names I mentioned: Alex Smith, Dante Robinson, Sean Smith. They added that. I mean, the 3 corners they have on the team now is Brandon Flowers, Dante Robinson, and Sean Smith. That's pretty good. Dante Robinson is probably the best 3rd corner in the NFL today, and that's definitely going to help out the Chiefs, especially with Eric Berry back there. Sorry. That's just going to really, really help this defense out even more. Even with the loss of Glenn Dorsey. I'm sorry, I'm not including this on the list, but anyway, I just feel like I should mention it. Even with the loss of Glenn Dorsey, I think it's an upgrade to that defense. Anyway, moving on. Number 9, Oakland. Oakland has picked up Josh Cribbs, Tracy Porter, Charles Woodson, Matt Flynn, Osama Young, Pat Sims, Nick Roach, Mike Jenkins, Kevin Burnett, and Alex Barron. That's a good tackle they picked up. They picked up 2 safeties and 2 corners to completely upgrade that safety, the secondary position. With the loss of Michael Huff, they still managed to upgrade their secondary. And they picked up Kevin Burnett. He's a very good linebacker. And then you got Josh Cribbs, who's just a playmaker in general. They have enough playmakers as is, but I really like Josh Cribbs. Number 8, Miami. Number 8, Miami. They picked up Philip Wheeler, Mike Wallace, Von Martin, Brent Grimes, Daniel Ellerby, Justin Keller, and Tyson Clavo. Tyson Clavo was a fantastic tackle for Atlanta for a number of years. Philip Wheeler was a good linebacker from Oakland. And the reason why I have him this low is because I don't believe in the hype in Mike Wallace. I think he's okay. But other than just being a really fast guy, he's just pretty much the same thing to me as Deshaun Jackson, except a little bit taller. Number 7, Tennessee. I pretty much solely have them here. They have a lot of good pickups, but I mainly have them here because of one guy, and that's Andy Levitree, who should really, really upgrade that offensive line. And where they have him, George Wilson, Kevin Walter, Bernard Pollard, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Sean Green, and Antonio Johnson. So that lets you know they picked up a good backup, so if Jake Locker doesn't pick it up, they're ready to replace him. Number 6, San Francisco. San Francisco has added Dan Skuta, Glenn Dorsey, Nnamdi Asomugha, and Anquan Boldin. So Glenn Dorsey, big upgrade from Isaac Sapoga. Nnamdi Asomugha, good third cornerback addition. He's much better than Chris Culliver. And Anquan Boldin, who I don't see how they're going to be able to stop Michael Crabtree and Anquan Boldin. I made a list about those two being one of the best tandems in the NFL. That's just ridiculous right there, having Michael Crabtree and Anquan Boldin. It's unfair. They were both the best receivers playing against each other in the Super Bowl. How's that even fair? Anyway, I'm sorry. I got to move on. Number 5, Seattle. Cliff Averill, Michael Bennett, Percy Harvin, Antoine Winfield, and Travaris Jackson. I like how Travaris Jackson came back to them. I think it's really funny after his fail in Buffalo. Anyway, I like the 2 defensive ends they picked up, Cliff Averill, Michael Bennett. Percy Harvin's a great addition to match up with Sidney Rice as receivers, and they also have Golden Tate. Then they have Antoine Winfield. So their cornerbacks are Marcus Trufant, Richard Sherman, Brandon Browner, and Antoine Winfield. Number 4, Detroit. Yeah, number 4, Detroit. Michael Spurlock, Glover Quinn, Montel Owens, Jason Jones, Israel Donijay, Chris Hope, Reggie Bush, and David Akers. David Akers, one of the best kickers in the NFL. Israel Donijay, very underrated defensive end. Reggie Bush, he's not as good as people think he is or whatever, but just the kind of player he is, having that playmaking ability while having Calvin Johnson triple covered on a consistent basis, that's extremely deadly, and that's very smart for them to pick him up. Anyway, number 3, Denver. Number 3 is Denver. They picked up Wes Welker, Sean Phillips, Luis Vasquez, Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie, Quentin Jamer, and Terrence Knighton. All massive components that they needed, except for Wes Welker, but that's just a huge upgrade. But the rest of them, they needed these players, they needed these positions, and they're very, very good compared to last year. Anyway, moving on. Number 2 is Baltimore. Baltimore has picked up Marcus Spears, Darryl Smith, and let me say this, Darryl Smith is a great linebacker. He was extremely underrated because he played on a crappy team in Jacksonville for a number of years. Anyway, they also picked up Elvis Dumerville, Michael Huff, Chris Canty. They also picked up Rolando McClain. Well, there's this whole hoax on how he retired or whatever, but I checked earlier today and he's still officially on the Baltimore Ravens website. He's on the roster and everything. So I don't know what that's all about, but as far as I know, he's on the roster, and that's a great pickup. He's extremely talented and he's very young. And the best team in the free agency / trading or whatever, bringing in players in or whatever, Philadelphia. I picked Philly because they picked up Kerry Williams, Isaac Sapoga, Kenny Phillips, Pat Chung, James Casey, Bradley Fletcher, Connor Barwin, Donnie Jones, and Felix Jones. So they picked up an entire new secondary and a great addition at fullback / tight end. They picked up a good running back. What made this so good is that they picked him up from a rival. I mean, especially with they picked him up from Dallas. And Dallas, he was their backup running back, in which DeMarco Murray has had a lot of injury problems. So them picking him up from them really damages the Cowboys more than it helps them. Anyway, they picked up Connor Barwin, who should really help out in the pass rushing game. And he's just a good linebacker all around. And then you also picked up Isaac Sapoga, who is a very solid rock in the middle of a 3-4 scheme. He doesn't make that many plays, but he's very hard to move because of his massive size. Anyway, guys, that's my top 14 players of this last offseason, not accounting losses, just straight-up additions. I really appreciate you guys watching this. Like, subscribe, and please leave a comment. I love when you guys do that. I always try to comment back and give you guys my input. If you guys have any thoughts that disagree with me, I'll comment back to you and tell you how I feel, why I said that. Anyway, guys, you have a good day, and God bless.